And we're live. Good afternoon, everybody. We're going to chat for a couple of minutes and let people get from the last video to this one. If any of you spotted my photo on the poster, that was taken in 2021, minus 20 years. Jamie asked me for a portrait, and I delete every picture I've got of me. But I did have that one from a bike rally up in Sweden in 2001. So I'll send him that one.
It's a good picture, Pete.
Today I have able assistance from Brian.
It's me. I'm back again. Hello. Welcome, everybody.
So he'll be looking after you in the chat for me.
I'm not so sure. I'm not so sure. Looking after is the right answer. I'm not supposed to supervise anybody.
Let's see. We're probably ready to start now.
All right, buddy. If you want to let us know what
we're
doing. Yep.
And what I'm doing today is a small pretend production run. I'm demoing this. This is my storyboard for this little project I'm making a few of. And when I'm doing a production run, I start by cutting my blanks, ready to go to work, stacking them on that bench, and I process them all in various stages. So that's what we're going to do, which is grand because I can stop at any time close to 55 minutes.
Perfect.
So I shall start roughing down these spindle blanks while Brian tells me who's in.
Oh, do I have to do that as well?
Yeah, you got to do that.
You're going to make me work from 11. Oh, this is not good at all. Okay.
I'm not paying you
though. Yeah, there's a surprise.
I've used the entire budget to pay the extremely expensive actress that does the demo film, which you'll see later.
Oh yeah. So you did right enough. Yeah. There's a highly paid superstar coming in later.
Yeah.
So let's have a quick look through the chat then. That's top chat one, live chat. There we go. Brian Watkins is in. Oh, it's just jumped for 3 miles. Oh yeah. Let me go to the participants list first. That'll be better. See who's in on the participants list. So from the participants list we have Amy from Amy DeAngelis, Chris Dodds, Doug Miller from Woodspud Brand, Harry Mullica, Jennifer's Crafting Creations, Chris Gershwin, Lisa Ravenscroft. Lisa's in. Yay!
Hey, Lisa.
Hi, Lisa. And Martin Brace, Malcolm McEwen, Norman Granwell, Raven Queen. Ooh, there's a name to conjure with. Shane Hurst, Steve at SK Crafts, Spirit and Bear, Spirit Wood and Bone, Wood, Stone and Bone. That's Heather. Oh, that just jumped again. Why does it keep doing that? Back to Bluelight Turner. And now it won't go up and down. Now, that's all that's in the participants list. So quickly back to the live and see who's in there. Live chat. So if I haven't read your name out so far, I may have missed you. If you want a shout out, just stick your name down at the bottom of the page. Stephen the Wood is in, Wifey Woodshed is in, Shane Hurst is in.
I'm working, sorry Brian, can I interrupt?
Go ahead.
I'm working with a step drive, I don't need to turn the lathe off because I can very safely put that in there, touch that on there and nothing happens until I tighten it up.
It's a step drive centre, obviously. Lewis the Klondike Craftsman is in. Paul Houghton and Grisby Turner, good afternoon all. Malcolm Douglas, I missed Malcolm Douglas. How could I possibly miss Malcolm? I don't know. Psyched. Again. So have we actually explained yet what this is going to be, or are we leaving it as a kind of a secret?
That'll develop.
Ah, this will come in
No,
the
we can
fullness
tell
of
them.
time then.
This is entirely Lewis's fault.
Oh, yeah, I agree.
Lewis did a demo of a plant pot maker for seedlings. Well, I made a few, took them to a shop that I sell stuff in, and they sold them very quickly, so they wanted lots more. So, quite a successful little sales project, and quite easy to make. I'm only going to do 3 of these roughing downs, just then move on to the next step.
Hughie Reinhardt is in. Good afternoon, Shug. Hughie has just said, I'm fairly sure David Jason is in the house. Brian, well, at least you remembered his name this time. Hughie, makes a change.
See, Lisa loves it when I do roughing down like this, because I get covered in shavings and I can take them back into the house, which means she gets to clean them all up, and she loves doing that.
Yeah, loves doing it. Yes, she does, aye. Mind you, she won't be doing it today.
No, she won't be doing it today.
Yeah. So you've got lots of room to leave, lots of shavings all around the house today.
Yeah, I can hide them in places.
Yeah. JP's in. Hi, JP. Raven Queen says you're making lots of man glitter there. Well, indeed. Malcolm Douglas has a question. What wood are we using today?
This is ash. This is wet ash, in fact, because when you're making things for somebody to use in their garden, you should tell them that the best way to store it is to bury it underground through the winter, and it will keep it really nicely, and they can buy another one next summer, next spring.
Yeah.
In the UK, this is the right time to be making gardening stuff, because the sun's come out.
It was this week. Yeah. Sun's
People
come out.
spend money.
Yeah, sun come out, wallet's open. It's amazing how that works.
Right, so in real life,
yeah.
I would continue doing that until all the spindles were shaped. Which camera? Basically shaped with a chuck mount on the end. Have them all done like that, and then go to the next step, which is put the chuck on, find the chuck key.
Woodworm Paul is watching from hospital. He's just had a knee replacement surgery. Well, let's hope you recover quickly. And you're out and about in no time at all.
So they go into the chuck.
Robert is suggesting that Mark is responsible for all the bad ideas.
Yes, he is.
100% correct, Robert. That's Robert from Hodgepodge Woodworks.
I think he's still driving at the moment, so he can't complain about that.
Yeah, he's not in. Yeah. I think he's heading towards your neck of the woods, though.
He's coming to see me later on today, yeah.
We better be careful.
Well, he might be here when you're on, actually.
Oh, no.
You never know.
That could be abuse central.
All right, I put my tools out earlier and I put them back again. That was silly. Okay, so that's in the chuck. I just want to very gently square this end off.
I've just had a gentle reminder from Jennifer. Jennifer at Jennifer's Craft and Creation. She says, "I'm in, Brian."
Did you forget Jennifer?
I did. Oh,
Brian,
dear.
did you not say hi, Jennifer?
No.
You're
Jennifer.
So trouble, boy.
How you doing, Jennifer? How's the Baileys today?
That's going to cost you at least a bottle of Baileys.
Yeah, probably will. Or two, possibly.
Right, I've got a 35mm Forstner bit on here.
Yeah.
So I'm going to slow my lathe down. Not that slow. About 600-ish.
Oh, look. Mark, gentleman Woodturnings just appeared. He says, hello everyone from a sunny park in Bristol. He's out strolling with his partner, Kim.
Ah,
Kim, girlfriend, partner, I don't know. Whatever.
whatever she is.
Yeah,
She's a lovely lady, I've got to say.
she is indeed. Lucky Mark. The wood dude,
Okay,
the wood dude has a question, but we can't
Yep.
answer it yet. You'll just have to wait and see, because he says, "Can I ask what Pete is making?" You can,
Yeah,
but
you
we're
can
not.
ask.
We're not going to tell you yet. You will find out just shortly.
So my storyboard comes in for a second use now. That's to measure the length of this. My storyboard's actually got magnets in the back. Because I like playing with magnets. That means I can stick them to my lathe.
Look at you. You're getting all posh.
Get the speed back up again.
Huey of the Lionheart says, don't forget, people, if you like this, give it a thumbs up and subscribe. That would be appreciated, guys. Lewis Lewis just said, Amy, I'm a bit younger than Brian, so I function better. Nah, I'm not so sure about that. I'm functioning today currently on 3 hours sleep. So we had a late night live across the pond last night. Started at 2 o'clock. We finished in around 4. I didn't get to bed till about 4:30. And I was up again at 7:45 to go and do the horses. So around 3.5 hours sleep I've had.
I did drop in and watch a couple of minutes of that.
Oh, you did?
I didn't comment because I was only awake because I got cramp. So I was hopping around trying to get my leg to work again.
Yeah. I've been the other time.
But yeah, it went on quite late, didn't it?
It did. It was good though. It was good fun. Robert says I have to stop complaining. I'm not complaining, Robert. It's just
Stop looking at the screen, Mr. Ravenscroft.
State of fact. Yeah, just you pay attention to what you're doing. I'm looking at the screen.
Yeah, I was looking at the screen thinking I should change to that camera.
Well, you didn't really need to. But
didn't really need to. And when I looked at the screen, I instantly got a catch. So you know.
Of course you do. Eh?
That's okay.
Pay attention, boy.
Got another one there.
Michael McCune suggesting, would I like some cheese?
My tool rest is quite low.
Ah. Have you still not got the hang of that tool rest?
No, this one I keep it low deliberately because I don't change it.
Oh, okay. It's just due to being a production run type affair.
But it's okay. I can just tidy that up.
Ben Ravenscroft.
No particular size.
Ben Ravenscroft has just said hop to it. Lol.
That's my son.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Hi, Ben.
Oh, and Steve suggests I'm going to have a power nap before his live later.
They're in because
Oh, sure. Go ahead, Pete.
My very glamorous assistant, who's going to demonstrate how to do use these, is my granddaughter.
Mm-hmm. She will be featuring shortly.
Right, that's enough sounding for that.
Tipsy Turner says, I'm across the pond from you at 2 a.m., 9 p.m. my time. I was asleep already. I tried, but I couldn't. I'm sorry. Not to worry. Steve thinks I'm going to have a power nap this afternoon before my live, like
Right.
old people do. Well, I'm not old. I'm only 26.
So there's the first one made.
Oh, it's the
It's got a
first
little
of them.
handle. It's got a little hole.
Oh, kind of gave it away there.
I
The
can make
handle. I was going to
20,
say it's the
30,
start of
100 of those. It's not orders.
I was going to say it was the start of a Russian doll set, just to try and. But you kind of gave that away now. You said it was a handle. What do you like?
Yeah. Sorry. Oh, my bin's full. I've got a bin over there, and I normally chuck it and hit
Oh,
lands in the bin, but it bounced out because it's full up.
oh well.
I
Woodturnings
tidied it up in front
Barbarians
of the
in.
cameras, but
He promised me that he had tidied up today. He obviously lied. He just pushed it out of the way of the camera shot.
so yeah. What I should do is cut all of those spindles to be that shape, and then move on to the next bit, which is a piece of log chopped in half and a 40mm fortunate bit hole in the middle of it. 40 or 45.
Stephen
Can't
says,
remember.
yeah.
It's 40, 45, I think.
What chuck is that you're using?
This is the little Record Power 2-inch.
The ideal expansion on that is 42mm. The SC2 chuck. So if you're anywhere between 40 and 45, you'll be grand.
I'm going to measure it now. I could measure another one actually, couldn't I? Never mind.
You could have. You didn't have to take it back off, but there you go.
45 I've drilled them at.
Yeah, that'll be fine. Be close enough. That's 3mm
Yeah.
between friends.
Because
Steel Blade Woodworks has just joined us. Good afternoon, sir. That's Joey, I think, isn't it? Steel Blade Woodworks. Rob from Coupler Woodturning is in. How many lovely people have we got watching? We've got 59 people watching.
59, blimey.
Yep, it's excellent.
Good morning, afternoon, and evening, everybody.
Yep. If all of you guys are not actually subscribed to Pete, nip over there and subscribe.
Got a button for that.
He's got 534 subscribers currently. Oh, look at that. Please hit the thumbs up. Look at that. Hey.
Right, so all I'm doing is making a flat. Doesn't have to be anything particularly fancy about it.
This piece is the design change that makes yours different from.
This is the piece that makes mine faster to make.
Yeah, exactly.
So, I don't know if you can see this. What camera? I've got here the diameter I want and a middle point. They're pencil lined on there, but I also cut a small notch around the pencil line. So I can just transfer that from there to there.
So yeah, so
really quickly when nobody's watching.
Sits in the slot.
Draw a circle like that. And then with my parting tool, I stay outside of that circle.
It shows up from the other camera angle, Pete, the tailstock end.
And I do that. And because this is wet wood, it does tend to sort of frill on the edges. So just touch it with a bit of abrasive. And that's off the lathe. Next one's on.
Yeah, next. If you change cameras up for this one, we'll see it from the other side, the other end.
Yeah. pretend it's something slightly different then, can't we?
Yep.
So again, apart from rotating to this direction and changing from spindle to bowl tools, there's virtually no change.
Yeah, Ben is asking, is that the same wood as the handle oblique spindle?
Sorry, I missed that. What was that?
Is that the same wood as the handle or the spindle piece?
Yes.
It's all ash. Yep. And Lewis has just said he so.
Carry on.
Lewis has just said he so dislikes those chuck keys, and he's absolutely right. I don't
hate
like them
those
either.
chuck keys.
Yep, with a passion.
Okay, so this morning, all of those blanks look like that.
Just a bit of a treat.
I had a number of bits of branch. So they went through the bandsaw. I cut the first set of these a bit too long. So I made some smaller ones as well. Because I found out they were just too long.
Yeah.
So I cut those lengths. I then split those in half. Then I squared them by just running it through with the fence guide in position. Shows nicely on that one.
You used a fence guard.
Square edge, square edge, square edge. Not quite big enough.
Yeah, it's going around anyway.
It's very, very approximate. I've got a 35mm hole in the middle of it, so it needs to be about 40mm. So if I square it to 45, then if it's not quite big enough, it'll work out. And
it'll
these,
be close enough.
I'll find a matched pair now.
Chris Dodds is asking Raven a question. He says, "Who is Dinker?" Because everybody just said hello to Dinker.
It's my grandson. So these, again, just cut to length, split in half. Now put an X on them and chuck them under the drill. And 45mm hole. Not hole, dent.
Oh, very simple, eh?
Very simple.
Easy for you to say.
It's yeah, it's got to be quick to get it done.
Dinker is Chief's grandson.
Dink is 6 now.
There you go.
And he's the younger brother of the supermodel that's going to be on screen in a bit.
We've been going for 24 minutes.
That might be short then.
Very
Where did I put that tool? I put my tool down in the wrong place.
Oh, I know. You've lost the tool. What are we going to do? Camera? Pete, camera. You're on the wrong camera, Pete.
Oops.
Or you've banged the camera or something. There we go, that's better.
Thanks, Brian.
Oh, that was Lewis that noticed it.
Oh.
Thanks, Lewis.
So it's your job and you didn't notice, is what you're telling me?
Nah, I'm only pretending to be here, to be honest. Yeah. Oh, Rob from Copper Woodturnings says he finished his segmented piece last night. I think Pete did a segmented piece. It may well be in the fire now, of course, but he has a penchant for throwing things in the fire.
Yeah, especially things like segmented or rodents.
No mentioning of rodents. It caused an international incident mentioning rodents. You know what that Lewis fella's like? He's a bit protective, you know. He's a bit...
Well, I actually have a fire pit outside the workshop. And things that I really don't like don't get as far as the house.
Oh. Ow. Yeah, he comes out his workshop door, looks at it in the broad daylight, and decides whether it goes into the house or into the fire pit.
Okay, so as you can see, you just quickly knock out these things. Change to that camera, and they work as a pair. That goes on there, and here is a £300 an hour actress that I employed.
Yeah.
So it's only a 30-second film because I couldn't afford to employ her for any more than that. This is what they're for. This is Phoebe, my granddaughter.
Is that Lisa's greenhouse?
Yes, that's Lisa's greenhouse.
I knew that because it's tidy. Because it's tidy. There you go. So that's what we're making. Is little,
that's what we're making. That's what they're for.
A former for making seedling pots.
And yeah, so it's all about the storyboard. So that's the diameter I want to turn the stamp down to.
Mm-hmm. It's me.
I've got a mark here for the length of the pot making bit. The handle can be any shape and size after that. And a diameter for the middle part. So as long as you've got those marks on your storyboard, and if you're...
Steve from SK Crafts is trying to cause an international incident here. He says he has a question. He says, so I have to ask, what's the difference between a UK mouse and a Canadian mouse? I'm not answering that.
Pronunciation, wasn't it?
I'm not answering that. Just because my mouse is called Maurice.
Yeah. If you get these tiny little magnets and glue them in the wood, and you can stick it on your headstock as well.
That's perfect. So here's what I want to see now. I want to see this done in production run speed.
Production run speed.
Now that you've shown us how it can be done, let's see it at production run speed. Susie, the Swiss Woodturnings joined us. Good afternoon, Susie. She must have just woke up because she was in our late night live last night. Lewis says, I need about 200 pots made. Is Raven available at less than $300 an hour? I think the answer to that is no, she's not. So you have to pay the superstar wages, you see, that's the thing.
Oh, forgot to sand that then.
Tusk. Tipsy Thurner says the UK mouse is Jerry and the Canadian mouse is Mickey. I thought Mickey the mouse came from America. But no matter.
I think you did, yeah.
Christos says that one is the Scottish spelling, the other is Morris. It's Maurice. Stop it. I'll have to set Maurice on you again. Yeah.
If it's the Irish spelling of Maurice, it could be any jumble of letters thrown into a bucket and pulled out at random.
Yep. And a shortage of vowels.
Yeah.
Susie says, Amy, I'm very tired. The plan was to go on a motorbike trip today, but I'm in no state to sit on a bike today. Therefore, just doing things around home. No. And Rob suggests that Canadian mice are called moose. Well, there's a moose loose about the house. It's a Scottish word for mice. A moose. Heather is suggesting that Canadian mouses ride moose and have pet polar bears. Yeah, right.
Well, I believe the pet polar bears, but as we all know, moose are imaginary creatures.
Yep, I agree with you,
Because-
Pete. Lewis keeps trying to tell us different. He says they're real.
Yeah.
I'm still not convinced. I've never actually
They're
seen
just too
one.
daft to be real, aren't they?
Yeah, great big head, long skinny legs, huge big body. Yes. Nesting on roofs. I don't know. Sounds very strange to me. Sounds all very kind of dragonish to me. I don't know. Don't think there's any truth in them
Lisa,
at all.
she likes moose for some reason.
She Turner says imaginary ? Bullwinkle is real. Yeah, right. Bullwinkle.
And we went to Sweden, and we went to a moose safari park.
Mm-hmm. Did
Well,
you
we
see
got out
any?
of the car and threw apples to the moose. We got back in the car, and I still denied that they were real. Animatronics, that's what they were.
Animatronics, yeah. Yeah, a bit like those dinosaur things, eh?
Yeah. Yeah, they're just too silly to be real. Just doesn't make sense.
Amy apparently is part Italian. Apparently. Therefore, it should be Maurizio. It's Mauricio. I don't know, eh? Let's get the Mauricio out of the cupboard. So Chris Doris just said they're flipping big imaginary things. And Steve's asked a sensible question. Oh, only Steve to be asking the sensible questions today. How many of these would you expect to make in a day, Pete?
It's not how many I can make in a day, so how many I can make before I get bored. I can actually do quite productive work. I quite like doing it. Put the music on, loud music, keep going. I'll be looking at, I don't know, 75 or so, maybe 100 if I was working hard.
I'm a bit like yourself, though,
But,
Pete. I have a low boredom threshold when I'm turning.
yeah, it all depends on. I've got bits of wood on my workshop floor which I cut off from various things, offcuts and bits that are just there because I cut a piece off them to do something with. And they're in front of me on the front of the lathe. And I stand at the lathe and I look at them and I think, oh, I could do that shape. So the production work gets stopped and I go and do something completely different instead.
Yeah. So not only you have a low boredom threshold, you're easily distracted as well.
Very, very easily distracted, yeah. But
So nothing wrong with that.
You can mix and match. I mean, I do. I like these multi-part jobs because when I get bored of part one, I just go and do part two.
Well, that's true too, yeah.
And when I get bored of that, I go back to some more part one again. So
it's not like something
you
I've
can
tried
just
production.
mix things up.
I haven't really tried any production turning. Most of my things are one-off, apart from the thing I'm doing today, which seems to have turned into that.
Mark did one pop-up live the other day. He was doing a bit
He did.
of a production run. It is all about getting organised.
We have a couple of questions in here, and well, one's a statement really. It's from Steve. He says, "I like chocolate mousse. Does that count?" Yeah, we know you like chocolate mousse. We can tell, Steve.
Yeah, I think Lewis was hunting that the other day.
And Lewis has asked, "How many of those have you made oblique sold so far, Pete?"
I can't tell you that, it's a trade secret. But they sold out,
So,
and I dropped another load down to the shop this morning, actually.
suffice to say, they've asked them for more. That's as much as they. But it's a good little project if you have a local garden centre or such. A local.
That's the hard bit, is you need an independent, non-chain garden centre.
Yep, that's it. Yeah.
Once they're into a chain, then they don't want to deal with people like us.
No, you have to go through a buyer then. And buyers are notoriously
but you
fickle.
can find an independent, and then if you can go to a well-known site that takes orders for all sorts of stuff and sends it through the post to you, and find it on there, and get a price, and then offer them a wholesale price, that means that they can sell it at the same price as this company that sells stuff through the post.
Yeah. So
Then
Tipsy Turner
well.
wants. So you can, Tipsy Turner wants to know what kind of music you prefer: Mozart, Metallica, Willie Nelson.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If I'm in a chilled out, sort of cruising type production, it'll be something like the Levelers. If I'm in a rush, it'll be Rammstein. Or something in between. But quite eclectic taste in music.
So Susie is not sure what you're making today. I think we may have to run the video again. She says, "What are you making today?"
Again.
I
Get me
missed
money's
the
worth,
beginning.
because
Yeah.
I had to pay a whole £2.50 for this 30 seconds, you know.
Yeah, I think you should run it again. Just watch this little video and you'll see what it is. That was Lola the cat, by the way. You see.
Lola the cat also had to star in it because she was in my way, so I couldn't step forward.
So the piece that the paper is being wrapped around is the little piece with the handle on it. That's the spindle. And there's the base piece just made.
And that's what they're for. You put some earth in them, you plant your seedlings in them, and you remember to change the camera. Plant your seedlings in them. Let's go for that camera. And you can plant them, if you make them out of newspaper or something, you can plant them straight in the ground. That paper that Phoebe was using, their wrapping paper from the aforementioned company that likes to take orders and send things through the post.
Oh.
So I have quite a lot of that.
You can make them with newspaper as well, of course, if you just want to recycle newspaper. And
newspaper
the good thing is, once you put your seedling into it, you're only going to put one seedling in each pot, basically. You just stick it straight in the ground, then paper and all. Ben has said, Ben Ravenscroft has said, that's the royalties gone up. Showing the video again, he says.
And no, she's not on royalties.
Oh, she's not on royalties? Oh, you miserable soul. You just paid her a flat fee.
Stage payment only.
No. Right. Tipsy Turner just said it's called a Rammstein.
Rammstein, yeah.
A Rammstein. S-T-I-E-N. A Rammstein. I didn't even know I had a name.
I have tickets to go and see them. Dated from 2020. When obviously it got cancelled and postponed, and we have no idea when it's going to happen now, or if it's going to happen. But we can almost guarantee that when it happens, we'll be out of the country somewhere.
Almost guaranteed. Yeah, Lou's suggesting you've been pretty smart there by buying the rights of the video. Just pay that a flat rate instead of a commission fee. This thing
Yeah,
could
it
go
could get very
viral, make a fortune. Well, there may be a contract dispute looming, because Raven Queen says I'm on commission for each video, or am I on commission for each video? I feel a contract dispute coming.
Yeah, it was an implied contract. It wasn't written down, so I better write it down next time.
That's it.
Where was I? I was there.
We have 61 lovely people watching.
That camera will do. So yeah,
Amy is stirring the pot.
She
says, Amy is stirring the pot here. She's saying, push for commission.
So this size hole doesn't matter. That lump does matter. It's got to fit inside the portion of it drilled hole.
Ah, yes.
And it just goes together and crimps the paper. That's it. Very simple.
It's a real simple.
Thanks to Lewis for demoing it. They sell quite well. As I said, you need to find an independent outlet for them.
Yeah.
Same with anything really. It's if you sell to a chain, it's quite difficult to deal with. But selling to small companies, independents, if you can find a retail price that they can aim at and then match your wholesale price, let's be on that one. Match your wholesale price so everybody gets a good deal out of it, including the taxman, then you can sell stuff. If you organise yourself.
Yeah, that's the problem. That's the biggest problem for me.
Then
organising myself.
You can quite quickly turn branch wood into things. I don't have anything else here. Light pools, dibbers, things of that type are
so I wonder
sort of things that you can sell easily. You can sell an artistic bowl that will take you 4 hours to make, or in the case of what I'm working on at the moment, so far about 7 days. I haven't finished polishing it yet. But you're not going to make as much money out of that as you will out of 100 light pools, which you can turn out in a day.
Yep.
So any questions?
Oh, David Nichols just joined us.
Hi, David. No questions?
Apparently not. You've got about 17 minutes left, but we can stop early. It's no big deal.
We can stop early, or
I
can carry on and cut another one.
Jennifer's Crafting Creations has started the hashtag commission for Phoebe.
Yeah, no questions on the commission for Phoebe.
You're too late. It's a hashtag.
Okay, let's get our money's worth out of it.
So there may well be a change of running order coming shortly, guys. We may be missing somebody. I've just messaged JP to see is there a substitute, or trying to find out who's coming next after Pete. Yeah, so the wood dude says, I don't have a workshop. I'm stuck in the high-end art market to make cash. Well, I have to say, Stephen, that your stuff is absolutely beautiful usually. I haven't seen a bad piece yet.
Well,
Tipsy Turner says, I've no question, just thinking of making these myself in America, so no competition for you. Well, there's very little competition involved unless you're next door to each other. Because as Pete suggested already, you would only be selling these to independent retailers in your local area, basically. Unless you're lucky enough to get a contract with
it's not really a problem with competition. I've not where these are sold. There is another turner that sells stuff in the shop, and he turns one side of thing, and I don't put anything to compete with that. I turn something other stuff, and he doesn't compete with what I've put in there.
Yep. It's the way to go.
We do chat, and I do cut the same thing as he cuts. I just don't put it in that shop.
Carl Jacobson just came in to say, yes, good morning, he says.
Hi, Carl.
Hi, Carl.
Yeah, I mean, there's plenty of room. There's plenty of different things. If you want to mix up production and artistic stuff, and you're in a shop where there's somebody else doing artistic, you put production in there. And you find another shop, and you can put artistic in that, and he can put production in that one. You can mix and match. You can work together. And there's no reason to compete with each other. The hard bit, as I said, is finding an independent retailer.
Yep.
Once you find somebody who can talk to you and buy from you independently, then you can do business and put stuff in there, see if it sells or not. If it sells, make some more. If it doesn't sell, make something different.
Rex has joined us. Good afternoon, Rex.
Hi,
Rex. Robert Hodgepodge says, there's quite a few gardeners and such over here. I might have to make a few of these and see what happens at the farmers' markets.
Yeah, that's the ideal place for them.
Yep.
Especially if you can get a glamorous assistant to make up pots for you.
Yep.
Then you can pay them on. Make sure you pay them on a one-off contract, not on commission.
So Amy has asked a question. How did you come across the design for these?
Lewis Klondike Craftsman made one, and he obviously got the design from somewhere else, and somewhere else got that design from somewhere else.
This design will have been going around for years, eh?
They're listed as a product in Amazon. Sorry, in that big place where you buy stuff and they deliver it to you.
Yeah.
So they're listed as a product on there, which is perfect because that gives you a price point. The hard thing about making this stuff to sell is I could make these tidy and I could take an hour over each one.
You could.
But then I've got to charge a price that's going to cover me working for an hour on each one. Right, I've got to stand in the right place to get the sun. There you go.
Yeah, so you can actually see you're getting silhouetted there.
So you've got to know what price point you're aiming at, and then you've got to know the sort of quality you're trying to hit that price point. And then you've got to try and do something a bit different. I mean, I did do them like that for a while. So I turned the outside and the inside. The half log is more popular and quicker to make. So
yeah, I think gives you something to hold on to as well.
It gives you something to hold on to. It's rustic. It fits in a greenhouse nicely. Bit of bark on it, and obviously in the UK you've got this ash dieback, so ash limbs are plentiful.
Oh, loads of them. Yeah.
So the cost of your timber is low. If you're making gardening stuff, as I said, the best bet is to make it out of green timber and tell the customers that they should bury it in the ground for the winter.
Yeah.
And then buy another one next spring. Because it's the same number of people. You don't want to keep telling them something every year, don't you?
Well, that's true. There's a limited number of gardeners, I'm sure.
Yeah, quite a few of them, I believe.
Welcome along, Tim. Brian Watkins suggests the first time he saw these being made was by Steve Jones. I'm not
Yeah.
surprised by that.
I mean, I think the design goes back probably to Steve Jones's granddad used to make them because he was a turner too.
Yeah, I would
I
think
think
so.
the design goes back a while.
It's not new.
That's Alexa telling me my time's up.
Yep, we'll come up to 10 to 2, so you can wind up anytime if you want. I've had no word back from JP who's following, because I'm led to believe that Heidi is not.
Is JP in the chat?
He wasn't earlier, but I've sent him a message on the chat group to see if we can figure out who's following, but he hasn't replied yet. So there may be a gap.
We don't
there
really
may
know,
not.
but we know that Heidi's got a problem, so she can't go live next. But we don't know if JP's hearing what we're saying, what's happening to replace that.
If not, you're going to have a lunch break, guys.
Yep. So there might be somebody on after this one. There might not be.
If you just go
thanks
to
for
the
coming
virtual
in,
crafty,
guys.
the virtual craft. Have you got the link for the virtual crafty in your description, Pete? No.
Yeah, it's all in the description there.
Yep. It's in the description, so if you click on the link, see who's next and see what appears.
Yeah. So there is a list of all the turners on my comment. Turners, crafters, creators, whatever they are. So there's a list of each of their YouTube channels. Virtuallycrafty.com should, in theory, link straight to the next one. Don't know what happens when there's a break like this. But
oh, JP says
JP's
standing in for Heidi.
All right, JP's standing in.
JP's going to cover the slot. There you go.
Brilliant.
So just use the Heidi link and just go straight in.
Yeah, if you stay on virtuallycrafty.com, then that playlist should take you straight to JP next.
Apparently from Ben, Emma would like some of these, please, Dad. We'll chat on pricing in person. There you go.
Yeah.
You've sold some more.
Probably haven't sold any there because that's my daughter-in-law wants them. So yeah.
Jennifer's asking, Pete, would you say you would have any issues with the spindle splitting, having been turned wet?
When I cut the log in half, I cut right through the pith. So that reduces the problem. So I just put them on a bandsaw, aim at the pith and cut straight through it. And then they tend to be fine.
So JP sent up a link now, so if we just wait, he'll probably pop the link in here now.
Brilliant.
We just hang on a minute. He's setting the stream up now, he says. That'll be good. Who else have we got? JP, I'm standing up behind you. So Lewis says he's been able to listen in. He says, I made these for a company in 1999, 2000. So they have been around for a long time. They've been around a whole lot longer than that.
Yeah, it's not a new idea, but it's a good idea.
Yeah, it is.
And well, certainly in the northern hemisphere, gardening season is starting now-ish.
Yep.
Next month or so. So now's the time to make them, get them in the shop, put them in front of people, and sell the idea, make a quick buck, and then move on. Australia, of course, are going into the winter season there, so they need to be doing theirs later on.
Yep.
But yeah, this Dibbers, anything gardening based, get it made now, get it on the shelf. Allow time to find a shelf to put it on. And now's the time to sell it. Now's the time people will buy it.
Yeah, so Rob from Copperell Woodturnings is suggesting that JP may be throwing a bowl today. He's already turned one bowl today, so I don't know if he'll turn another one. You maybe have to think of a different project.
No, I was going to turn a bowl, and I thought there'll be a dozen turners turning bowls, so I'll do something different.
So if you keep your eye out, I'm not sure if JP is going to get the link into here before we quit, but if you keep your eye on the virtual Crafty site, it will appear there anyway. But
and we'll do that one more time. So
there she
yeah,
goes.
that's it from me, I think. Thanks very much for coming in, and
I enjoyed
time
it.
for a wee
It was
break
good.
and whatever, and get a cup of coffee and then into JP's. Hopefully it'll be on the playlist and it'll just go straight to it. If not, if you look on the comments below mine, there's a list of all channels. JP's will be the first one because he was on first thing this morning.
That's true.
So one way or another, it'll work.
I just head over to JP Woodwork, he says. So Jake will obviously be here running for him again. So if you just go to JP Woodworks and join in there. Ruby's in too.
Hi, Ruby.
Hey, Ruby, didn't see you in earlier. All right, Pete.
Yeah, that's it. I was just looking for JP's link. I'm going to copy it and put it in there.
Oh, good man. You can tell Pete's the computer expert. He's searching for a link at the same time. I can just about get the computer to work.
So that's it. That's the link.
Ruby says she's
Right,
being
folks.
quiet. That'll make a change, Ruby.
Thanks very much. Take care. Cheerio.
Bye, everybody.
And